No.
Ciao. Mm.
Sei tu. Sorry. Ciao, TM.
No,
Let's go first.
not yet. I started broadcasting, but I don't know why they cannot join.
Ah. Ciao, TM.
There is nobody there.
Yes, nobody here, but they will show up.
But send them this link.
I already sent. This one is this one.
Yep.
I know, unicorn. Okay, let me do my job, okay?
No.
Please.
No.
Go back and to eat your rainbows. It's fine. But where
I
are
kill pandas.
I know.
I would kill a baby panda, then skin her.
No. They're lovely.
No, I would kill, and then I would make a rug out in my bathroom.
We're recording this. Do you know? Imagine this recording is.
Shit.
Everybody knows that.
Oh shit.
How you kill a panda.
Yeah, I would kill a panda skin and then put it in the bathroom.
Everybody heard about this.
Toilet, like when you're on the toilet, you know, walking where it's That's what I mean.
Poi ho avuto sì, il video mancato. One of the posts, this one. Okay.
Try to focus on what also people are trying to do already, and try to
Okay, guys. I guess all of you have already seen the screen, so I think we can directly start. And sorry for the for the amazing conversation before because it was show no viewers so far. So we can directly go to the topic of this webinar. So it's mainly talking about TM and Igcdp. So as usual, as you can see from here, the context of TM1516 is drive exchange for productivity. As we mentioned about last webinar, it's mainly through the talent planning and also team experience standard fulfillment to drive the productivity. So productivity is a measurement of success we want to see at the end of our turn. But if we want to go deeper, but actually there is some KPI supporting us to achieve the productivity. The first one, as usual, is the talent capacity to ensure that we have enough talent capacity to help us to achieving the goal. And the second KPI for productivity is the retention rate. So even though we have enough people, but if they are not staying in the organization, or we have facing a lot of HR loss, which means that investment we spend for educating them and all the investment for developing them is actually a waste to achieving our goal. So 2 KPIs for achieving productivity is a minimum KPI, the number of the talent capacity we have, and also the retention rate of the and retention rates of the. Wait a minute. There is someone coming. And then Wait a minute. Sorry, there is a candidate of Bologna trying to join. So yes, as I mentioned, the number of the talent we have and also the retention rate, the minimum to achieving the product we want to see. And also for the other side, we're also like responsible for the TMP and TOP as a product. So we also need to consider about how our customers feel about the experience that's connected to the NPS to ensure that we have the proper evaluation of the quality of the experience. And also we have to have the TSP standard implementation, trying to help us to understanding our operation flow, whether we're fulfilling our promise to our customer to give them the service they deserve in this program. So how are you going to drive the productivity? Our direction is for the talent planning, including the talent capacity, like the structure and job description. Whether we're providing the proper structure and job description to ensure that the efficiency and effectiveness for the members to fulfill their goal, and to set the productivity goal to clarify what should be the key deliverable for them, and also the learning development for them. Ensure every one of them have the proper knowledge, skill to develop themselves and also to fulfill their responsibility. And all these things we're just in the plan. How we're going to make the plan come true is based on to fulfill the standard of the team experience, deliver the right experience through the standard of team experience to ensure that all the things we plan is going to happen. So in this way, we're going to drive the productivity. So basically, let's go deeper about how exactly about IGCP and TM going to happen. So let's try to understanding how exactly is the customer flow and operation flow of the IGCP. A little bit different from the OGS. IGCP have more stakeholders, and it's a little bit more complicated than OGS. OGS, the main stakeholders, is more like our cooperation with the student, communication with the student, with the professor, university, to earning a better external environment to help us to promote the program. And also more cooperation with the hosting entity abroad, which is the ISET entity in other country. But for IGCP, we also need to consider about TN takers, host family, students, body, and also all the learning partner we're going to have. So it's more stakeholders in IGCP. So for TN taker, so the first step that we will go through is to get to know ISET. So during this period, what ISET should do is do the marketing research to understanding what should be the target list for the TN takers. We can approach them to become our opportunity providers. So we're going to be using cold calls, emails, reference, a lot of different channels to approach for the stakeholders to let them get to know ISET. And then they're going to set a meeting with ISET. So during the meeting, our main purpose as ISET is going to let them become our opportunity providers to accept the EP and also to accept the host families. So the way we're promoting lots of ISET committees trying to do is to let, when they're doing the selling for the TN takers, ask them not just become the EP opportunity provider, but also become the host family provider. And then that should be the outcome of our meeting. And then they will start to sign the contract and also uploading the opportunity on the system and also promoting the opportunities to the global plenary. So it's promoting opportunities to the EP around the world. And then set the interviews, do the matching, and start the realization of the project for the TN takers. And more important, right now we're lacking is how to do a CRM with the stakeholders, and how we're going to continue the follow-up of the project realization and do the customer relationship management for the TN takers, how to maintain a long-term relationship and upselling opportunity for, or resign the contract for the second project again. So basically that's the flow about the TN takers we go through with ISET. Is it clear? Can you hear me clear? If you can hear me clear, just type on the WhatsApp group. Okay, cool. So, and then we can go directly to the second part. Okay, the second stakeholders is the host family. So for host family, it's similar as the TN taker. They also need to get to know ISET. So basically what we do, this part will have a strong synergy with the marketing people. So they will host family should become one of the kind of sub-product of Igcdp, and also we should do for the online promotion with the marketing side, and also marketing should start to build up a pool about the CRM of all the host family. It's like we have a database of all the host family we had before, how we can use email marketing to do the online promotion, how we can use the Facebook page, Instagram, all the channel we have to do the online campaign to boost for the host family. It's more connected to digital marketing online. And also how we can do offline promotion. But the best way to get host family is during the sales stage, when we sell the opportunity to the TN takers, ask them to become the opportunity provider, to become EP, but also like package together about the host family opportunities. For example, for EduChange, we can also ask the school to provide the host family to the EP, and they can be the one to help us to promoting host family among the parents, among the children in the schools. And then they will have the meeting with ISET. This is something we are not that get used to do it. We can try to have the virtual meeting or physical meeting to try to set expectation to each other at the beginning, and also we can also offer tips to the host family how to deal with foreigners, what standard they should fulfill as host family for this kind of stuff, and how to communicate with ISET, what kind of support they may need during the interest is here. And during the realization of the project, we should have more CRM activities, like have the feedback meeting from both sides, how the host family want to offer feedback to ISET or to EP itself, what kind of problems they are facing during the realization of the project, what should be the support from ourselves too. And last part is a meeting of follow-up. So when the interns leave for the country or when they finish the program, whether we can do some reward and recognition for the host family, how we can upselling or resign the host family again, ask them to become the second time to host the family, or how to collect the story about host family, showcasing the story in the network and engage more for the motion side. So this is also the way we can do better in Igcdp right now. And another stakeholders is the EP itself. So once we sign the contract with the TN takers and we have the opportunity provider and we put all the opportunities on ESPA, we will start the promotion of the opportunity. So on the same time, the EP started to searching for the project of the whole global plenary. And on this part, we need to do promotion of the opportunity, and also we need to start the IR strategy with the entity partner, how we can directly promote our project to the entity partner, and try to understanding how we can find a better pool for the EP and to make the match progress more smooth and also more fast. So we don't have to like spend 2 months for matching in one EP. How we can use the IR, international relationship, to make the matching progress more efficient and short. And then we will have the interview, matching the EP side, and giving them support for visa procedure, and also start the preparation for all the pre-arrival meeting and all the IPS and also all the service going to happen in the realization stage. And then we'll have the reception for that pickup, showcasing activity, feedback meeting, and all the lead implementation. And then for the EP, when they finish the project, so they're going to finish the project in Italy, and then when they go back to their home committee, they will receive the reintegrate with the OGS in their home committee. So that's more or less what they will go through in Igcdp. Different stakeholders, different customer flow. So based on this, you can actually understanding for us as sending entity, what should be our operation flow. So based on the operation flow, we come out the job description and also all the structure of Igcdp. So far, in fact, what we're trying to promote for tier structure, for tier 1 and tier 2, we're proposing for the process-based structure, because in tier 1 and tier 2, most of them have more than one project, and also the scale of Igcdp, the amount of EP of the realization is much more large. So we suggest them for the process-based structure. So as you can see under the VP, there will be separating for a selling team and operation team. So the main concept about the selling team, that we start focusing on the selling stage for selling for stakeholders for the become our opportunity provider. So it's a TN taker, and also selling for the host family. So every single member under the sales team, they should focus on how to sign the contract to let the stakeholders become the TN taker and also host family. But they are final responsible for something. As you can see, sales manager final responsible for TN taker, host family manager final responsible for TN takers, but actually everybody need to do the same, because when they go to the school, they can sell both things on the same time. And CRM manager also need to do selling, but it's a final responsible to focus for the CRM itself. And for the operation team, they will focus more about the matching and realization. As you can see, once we simplify or make the matching progress more efficient, so the matching manager responsibility shouldn't be focused that much for interviewing people or like promoting the opportunities. They should start thinking about how we can use IR as a strategy to make the match more smooth and efficient. So this should be the future focus of the match manager, rather than like searching for EP around the world or like interview people for this part. And interview people for a long time and consider for a long time to make the match progress for a long time for this part. And realization manager, they can start the previous preparation for that. For example, who should be allocated to for the pickup, how we should organize the lead at the beginning. But once we will have the realization stage, once the EP arrives in Italy, the whole operation team, they should all focus for the lead implementation. So the match manager, maybe they will start to matching for EP of next quarter, but they also become the one like body or supporting for the lead implementation during the realization stage. And for tier 3 and tier 4, and we will suggest is project-based structure. So for example, they will have one project, but under the project, they will have the people responsible for the sales, people responsible for the matching, people responsible for the realization, but it's final responsible for this. But all the members will do the same. So for example, when it's a selling stage of the whole project, everybody will do the selling. When they sign the contract, everybody will start matching. Everybody will start realization. But here, the title of the position, it just means that they are final responsible for this. What does mean final responsible? You can take it as like, for example, the realization manager, it can become the OCP of the realization stage of all the events. But other member in this team, like sales manager, CRM manager, marketing manager, matching manager, when the interns arrive in Italy, they can become all OC for the realization stage. So you can take it as one of the examples to help you a bit better understanding how is actually going on. This is structure and job description we're posing right now. But right now, it's a little bit different from the OGS structure. For IGB, we're not that aligned, because for tier 1 and tier 2, tier 3, tier 4, the structure is different. And also the implementation of the whole national plan so far is also not that aligned. So process-based structure and project-based structure, how we should choose which one is better. And if we choose different structure, and what should be aligned with the recruitment timeline, and also the learning development cycle for this part is one of the bottlenecks about the IGB structure so far. And also is something we're still under evaluation in the national plan, in the MC side. So I can give you some food of thoughts on what we are still under consideration about these two structures in Igcdp. So process-based structure. So as you can see, process-based structure, it will have the selling team and operation team. So the synergy between the selling team and operation team should be very strong. And this become one of the bottlenecks it may happen. So what if the synergy didn't work between these two teams? So it means that there will be creating a little bit mess about the whole project itself. And for other stuff, how we can ensure the proper communication between this team, and how the VP can coordinate these two teams to work together. And also, for example, right now the selling team, they should working for the selling of Q1. But when they finish the selling of Q1, they will start the selling of Q2. but on the same time, the operation team is working for Q1. So you see the timeline of their working is also not on the same time. So it could be happen is that when the operation team still doing operation about Q1, the selling team has already finished the selling of Q1, and they will start selling of Q2. So how the VP is going to manage the different timeline and the overlapping of the timeline, which should be one of the consideration for us too. And also we need to consider about team cycle. So maybe for the selling team, in one team cycle, they need to finish selling for 2 quarters. But for operation team, in one team cycle, they just need to finish the operation for 1 quarter. And then they will shift to another team cycle. So how we can ensure that the new team cycle can carry on the selling part of the last team cycle, and also can carry on the operation of the last team cycle. So the transition between 2 team cycle also need to take into consideration. And for project-based structure, it's more connected to the recruitment. So far, most of the LC, they're going to have recruitment in April and November. So which means that in April and in November, we will have most of the new HR. But somehow for the project-based structure, for example, like EdChange, we will have the realization peak in Q1, Q2, and Q4. How we can align the team cycle with this free peak? Because as you can see, the time we have the HR is not really connected to when the project needs HR. So this will maybe the solution can be ongoing recruitment for the project-based structure. But if we do ongoing recruitment, there will be another consideration we need to take into account is that how we can do the induction again and again and again, how to make the induction more fast and efficient and effective to the ongoing recruitment. For example, in January, I need member because my project is going to start for Q2, and we need to have HR before January. So we need to have a small recruitment for this. But how we can ensure that the people get in from January, they can get a proper education as soon as possible and on board. And also, one thing we need to understanding is that compared for these 2 structure, which one is more productive? So far, we still don't have data from the national side for this, but we will see after Q1 to see compared to these 2 structure on the national side, which one will be better. And also another part for process-based structure, how we're going to evaluating the productivity is also something, very honestly speaking, we still under consideration about how to cultivate the productivity of the process-based structure. Yes, this is something we also will continue discussion in CN1 with you guys and to see which one is going to be better. And for other side, it's very important, even though we can ensure they have the proper talent planning by the structure and job description, have a number of talent capacity, but we also need to ensure that everybody of them have the proper learning development. So far, you can see we already had the framework about the learning development of all the IGCP. So what you need to do as TM to ensure that the VP and the team leader is already the leader of these topics and to follow up the result of the delivery of this topic. Another cooperation between IGCP and TM is the TSP standard implementation. So you can go to the EBC output. And also last webinar, we also mentioned about this. This should be also one of the focus in your transition by your predecessor. And also need to focus for the standard implementation in IGCP. Because so far, the whole national plenary in most of the LC, the most of the HR allocating is in IGP and in OGCDP. So most of the LC, they will have the middle management board in IGP and OGCDP. So you have most of the team leader in these 2 areas. So how to ensure that the 2 team leaders are able to deliver TSP standard to the team member? How to ensure that your co-worker, which means ensure VP IGP and VP OGP are able to also deliver TSP standard to all the team leaders. This will be your focus for this part. And the last cooperation between IGCP so far is about the EP lead. So we can also find all the details in the EPC output. And here is just a brief introduction about this. And we have the EP lead in IGCP, including the pre-arrival meeting. The pre-arrival meeting is more clarify the supporting system, individual roles and responsibility. And we're going to present all the details of the project, set clear expectation and clear explanation of the interns. And we will have the virtual get to know of the team and give them suggestion how to prepare for Italy before they arrive to Italy. Once they arrive, the first week we have the incoming IPS for them. But the IPS purpose should let them understand the context of the country they're in and clarify the responsibility and development they will have, the impact they will have too. And let them know what kind of support will be providing by us to help them to adapt themselves to new cultural environment and engage with different stakeholders. Let them review their personal goal and come up with concrete action steps. So they will experience a challenging role and environment. For us, is more helping them to understanding what support system we're going to provide. And let them reflecting of their experience, set their personal goals. And you see all the leadership model elements, which one we already tackled. So WC 1 through 3 means that the statements of the verse system 1 through 3, as you can see from the leadership model. And then during the week, we'll have the weekly meeting, let them to have deep understanding about the context of the country they're in, and know their weekly achievement and be aware about what kind of improvement they can have from both professional and cultural side, and know how host entity, which means us, can support them for them. So basically, the learning environment we're going to choose in weekly meeting is trying to create a learning cycle among the ISECer and also among all the interns itself. So imagine one project, we have, for example, we have 10 EP come from 6 different countries. So how we can help them to build as a team to use this environment to let them to know better about world citizen, self-awareness, empowering others, solution-oriented in such an international team environment. How we can create a learning cycle, for example, you can also go to the centralized TM folder, because in that folder, you can see the weekly meeting agenda in details. What we're going to use, for example, we can ask every week, different intern prepare the study about education in their own country. So they have operation experience in Italy, so they can make comparison about education situation in their own country and compare to Italy. So every week, different people share about different stories, help them to have deep understanding about the issue itself, and also building a learning cycle among themselves. Have the monthly review and also the team building in the monthly review. At the end, have the closure of the experience, what kind of contribution they can make to the community, and also the impact of the experience for their personal development. Understand how to reinvent themselves. So basically, this is a general framework of AP Lead, and you can see all the details. Daniel has already prepared all the agenda, session supporting, material supporting, and also creating all the weekly meeting, monthly review for all the supporting. So right now for national side, we launched this framework and all the support in EBC at the end of October. So most of the LC, they will start the first trial, implement all this framework in November, and they will give us feedback, and we're going to consolidating all the feedback and co-creation, finalize the final version about EP Lead in CM1. So we have a second trial for full implementation of the second version of the AP Lead framework in Q1 for interchange. And then we focus more how we can make this happen also for the Integrate, which is a new refugee camp project. The new project targeting for refugee camp going to realize in Q1 too. So basically, this is so far what we're focusing with IGCP. For what I'm suggesting for TM, first you need to completely understanding the customer flow of the IGCP, understand operation flow, and then try to understand how we as a TM can help us to do talent planning, build a proper structure, job description, how to track learning development for them too, how to ensure TSP standard going to happen. And then as a supporting function, how we can supporting them to deliver the lead for the EP for better leadership experience. And more important is that so far for the national side, IGB also focusing more about international relationship, because international relationship can help us to make the matching progress more efficient. So we can use more HR to focus for the realization stage. So in the realization, how to deliver proper opportunities for the AP itself in Italy, how to make the 6-week experience so powerful to achieve the LDM we want to see from the EP. So this should be the focus of GCDP project itself. As I mentioned in the last time of OGS webinar, sending EP in a more efficient way is helping us to shifting more focus to the value delivery stage, which is the IGB should focus for the value delivery stage. And also for the CRM, how we can have more customer relationship management with different stakeholders to help us to make the selling part more easier. If we have more selling the opportunity, no matter to EP, to TN taker, to host family, if we can maintain long-term relationship with them, so we can make the selling more easier too. This can also help us to not just showcasing how impactful of the IGB program, make us more relevant to the external world, but also help us to shifting more HR focus to the realization stage to make it happen. So that's so far about TMI and IGCP. And that's all of the webinar itself. Now it's more about Q&A time. Do you have any question regarding for IGP itself? Or do you have any other question with the transition so far? So we can also ask. So now is the space for you guys. Any question, you can directly start. And then, as usual, I will upload the video and also all the outputs with you guys. Everything is clear? Ah, okay. And the others? How is it, other people? Okay. Okay, about CRM. So I will explain about how to choose between process-based and also the project-based structure. Again, I think also I can make it more clear about these two parts. Actually, as you can see, no matter which structure we choose, not just in IGB, no matter which structure we choose, for every area, there are always pros and cons. So what we need to understanding is that under which situation, which structure will be better. And also we need to consider about the feasibility. So for project-based structure, if the LC has just one project, for sure, the project-based structure will be perfect for them. Because this kind of LC, they have a small amount. Sorry. The ambulance. Wait. Yes. For the project-based structure, It will be much more efficient because you have small amounts of the realization of EP. So it's better. So it's better that you have the project-based structure to make everything more clear to everybody. So you don't have to make the things more complicated. But for process-based structure, it's more feasible for the LC has more projects and has more intensity. For example, if one LC has 3 projects of Igcdp, and every project is going to realize in each quarter, which means that the selling cannot stop. So the selling team should continue to sell. Q1 selling, they should start Q2, they should start Q3, they should start Q4. And among the selling team, they're not just selling for one project. They will sell for different projects on the same time, for different timeline. So this will be much more feasible in the process-based structure. And because for the VP itself can also manage all the selling part in a proper way. And also, if you are going to make the selling just focused by one team, so we can centralize all the stakeholders on the same time. Because you have the same, maybe you have the same market, but you need to consider to do the market segments. For example, 3 projects, who should be the target of each project? And then we're going to segments for different projects, and then we choose different channels to do the selling for different timeline for different projects on the same time. So by the pros for the process-based structure will be much more concentrating about the resource of selling itself, and also more feasible for more project and more timeline for this part. And for the same time, the operation can also continue to do the operation for matching for every peak and every project. So it's better for this part too. But so far, and also for the other side, is that for the members, they can more skillful. So if I'm a member of selling team, I just need to become expertise for selling. So I don't need to consider about how to do the event for realization, how to do the pickup, how to do the matching, how to interview people. So I can become the expertise of my area. For example, if I'm selling team manager, I just need to focus for how to enhance my selling skill. So it's more better for expertise, for developing the skill. But somehow there are also cons for this. If we want to elect like future VP from this amount of people, maybe they're lacking of experience of the operation side. So that's what we're still under consideration. So far, we don't have any conclusion from the national side which structure is better. But I think we're under the evaluation based on this team cycle. Because so far, some LCs using process-based, some LCs using project-based, and we will have the evaluation in Q1 to understanding which one is better for the productivity itself. And also need to consider about the feasibility of the LC itself. Yeah. And for another question is that, shall we create a tool that all the LC put their lead activities, or we can use the Facebook group too? For sure, as I mentioned, the WeBCM Facebook group is using for GCP sharing and all the material sharing. So far in November, I know some LC has already starting to have cooperation and synergy between TM and IGB to make the lead happen. So I would super appreciate and super encourage and one of you start to sharing about the materials you're using or the synergy happening in the IGP, and also offer us the feedback. I think that would be also very useful in the network. So we can also understanding how to do proper preparation as well, which means the realization in Q1. Because all the materials we provide in EBC is the first version. We still need more time to understand the market, what the customers' needs, to understand the feasibility, whether the LC can do this synergy, whether the LC have enough knowledge or support to make it happen. So we're still under consideration for this. So all the input sharing you make in Facebook group, or you send an email for Daniel or for me, is helping us to understand how to make it happen better. Yes, and any other question?
No.
But also Google is telling you don't work anymore.
I need the last 2 days.
Troppo giusta.
Aggiustami.
Sì, però ci sì, vabbè.
Because you know that smart. And tell you the phones that only God knows what the fuck they are, of course. Also, she sent me videos.
Io non l'ho capito.
If there's no question, I will close the space. And whenever something comes to your mind, you can directly send me an email, and you know how to approach me. We're also in the same group. So thank you guys for showing up again in the webinar. And just let me know whatever needs you need from the transition. So I will send you the output and all the recording later. Thank you guys. Ciao, ciao.